I bet you guys can't tell me what those are. Look at that. Aren't they neat? Yeah, they're 12 gauge slugs. Hey guys, Manny CA here. Today we're casting up some 12 gauge slugs with the Lee 1 ounce key mold. Look at that. Nice, huh? And this is why they call it the key mold. See that? It's got a little X in there, and it gives you extra support so it's not hollow base. So that way it doesn't collapse when you shoot, and you can shoot it out of both smoothbore shotguns and rifled shotguns. Now, one tip. Look at that. Wow, that is a really clean Lee mold, huh? Let me get my gloves on here because it's kind of hot. I know I've got a lot of flack from you guys about casting with no gloves and no eye protection, but you see how clean that mold is? Let me show you one more time. Look, oh, that's shiny. Beautiful, isn't it? Now watch. Let's cast. Let me show you guys something. Right, we're casting with pure lead. I've done it with wheel weights also, and it works. My lead's oxidizing a little bit. It's getting, see how it's getting kind of purplish? That's the heat is a little too high on that. And the alloy is actually starting to separate. I'm going to turn down my heat a little bit. Now, back to this guy. Let me show you here. You see that? We got our sprue all nice. And you see how I just pop it open with my hand? And then I just use my rawhide mallet, tap the sprue, open it up. Look, there he is. Watch this. Don't make a liar out of me. There you go. See? Fell right out. Look at that. Beautifully made. Formed, filled out, and everything. But how can that be, you say? We didn't smoke the mold. No, we didn't. And I'm a big proponent of smoking the mold to give it a little extra bit of Teflon. But this time we didn't have to do it. So it's like every mold, every rifle, they're a law unto themselves. I like to break my sprue open by hand just because I think it's a little bit less bump and grind on the mold. There you go. And what we did, I'll give you our secret, is we took our mold apart. First thing we did is took the screw off, take the mold apart. The biggest problem you always have is with the center key. So what we did is we took the key and we got some 600 grit paper with some oil and we buffed the heck out of it just from here on up. So from here on up, buff it up with that 600 grit. You want to go 600 grit. If you've got 1,000 grit, heck, do 1,000 grit. I don't really think it matters. But that is one thing that gets this mold filling out beautifully and dropping beautifully is that high grit. Now, everyone likes to talk trash about the Lee molds, but I'm telling you, man, they cast just fine for us. Of course, whenever you're casting soft lead, like this is soft lead. We're doing soft lead because we're going to be doing a video series on loading these guys up and shooting them and seeing what kind of devastation they do, and soft lead is great for that. Always use, see we've got a couple of layers of fabric here to kind of cushion when you're casting, you're dropping them. That way they don't deform upon dropping. So the biggest thing with the Lee molds is the sprue plate tends to loosen up on you, but it's no big deal. There we go, we're filling up. Look at that. Nice mold fillage, nice clean sprue. Boom. And I've noticed as this gets hot, as your center gets hot, they drop like butter. So we took a break here and we let the mold cool a little bit. But oh, another trick when you're casting pure lead like this, you want to make sure the mold is hot, the lead is hot, hotter than you normally would, so it'll get really filled out and you don't have to worry, there we go, about wrinkles, or you'll let the mold tell you. Actually, the bullet will tell you, the sabot will tell you when it comes out. And if it's, you see how this looks all nice and shiny? Can't even pick it up. See how it looks all nice and shiny? No frost on it? That means it's casting up really well. When you get frost on your bullet, it means the mold alloy is really, really hot. So we're going to cast up a bunch of these, and then we're going to come back and we're going to load them up and show you how we load them and how we do it. We use a little bit of a wad, and then we put an undershot card under that, because the wad tends to stick up inside the bottom of the skirt of this guy. So you don't want that, because you want the wad to completely come free. Just like when you're doing paper patch bullets, once the projectile leaves the muzzle, it should be on its own, flying through the air. Nothing should be attached to it, including wads, paper, all that good stuff. So look at that, beautifully filled out. Look, you see that? Nice. And all we're using is pure lead. Now this is plumber's lead, and a buddy of mine, he had a contact for me, and we got some plumber's lead. Plumber's lead is the best. It's so soft, and that's what you want here. It's the best. Remember our lead hardness chart? Here we go. There's our lead hardness chart, and we're doing pure lead here, which is, you know, black powder, mini ball, round ball, the Brinell hardness of 5 to 8. Remember, on the Brinell scale, the lower the number, the softer the lead, softer the bullet. So we're over here, pure lead, where the 30 to 1 for paper patch is right below here with a Brinell of 9. So you kind of get the idea. So, handy little chart. Let's get back to casting a couple of these guys up. What we're going to do is we're going to load them, cast them, load them, shoot them. And it might take a week or so for us to get around shooting them. But tonight we were casting. We had a chance to do some casting. And oh, look at that. He just fell right out. We didn't even have to knock on the mold. And I figure, you know, you spend 20, 30 bucks on a mold for Lee. $100 if you go for Lyman. $150 if you do some of the more pricey ones. All the way up to $200, $300. Why do you want to be banging on them? Right? You want to be, I see guys in some videos, they sit there and they bah, 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 just hammering on their molds. That's mold abuse. You get called out on that, man. You can't have that. Be kind to your molds, and you know what? They will last forever. I got a buddy who's got molds that were, you know, from the 1800s. And, oh, he just fell back out. See that? You don't hit them, you treat them nice, and they fall right out. See that? But, of course, no spray release. I don't believe in spray release mold. The mold release, because it gunks up your molds like you wouldn't believe. Tried it, not for me. Some guys swear by it. So, hey, every mold, every rifle is a law unto itself. So, casting, look at that. Come on, puppy. Hey, she fell. See that? Well, that's telling me is the mold is operating at a pretty optimal temp. Another thing you can do is, you see how the sprue cutter kind of gets dry and hard looking? There's a thing out on the market that, you see that? Let me grab it real quick. It's called bull plate. And for you guys who are into cast bullets, right here, this is sprue lube. And what you would do is you would cast your bullet. Let me show you. And then you want to knock the sprue off the top of your bullet. And then, do you see how up in here you've got these lines? Well, see that on the bottom? Well, those lines will actually end up gouging your aluminum mold. So what I do is I take some of this lube, I get just a drop on there, and kind of dance around like a hot knife, hot butter right there in a pan. Let me grab some, here it is, and I've got some 4/0 steel wool, and what I would do is take the steel wool and kind of gently go through just like that when the mold's really hot. Be careful, we're all adults here, and what it does, it'll even out and remove some of the lead over there, and then take a cloth and make sure it's 100% cotton, wipe it down. There you go. And what you do is you're filling in all those little grooves in there. And you can do the same up here. And then I'll just wipe it down. And what it does is it'll make the sprue fall just a little bit easier. And you need lubrication on your mold and on your sprue plate. And I tend to like to rub a little bit on there. Just take a drop. Now you don't want to get this in the cavities because you'll start getting wrinkled bullets. So dab it like that. Usually I use a Q-tip. Just kind of go around like that. And it'll, you see, remove some of the fouling on there. and you'll see how nice this thing will start dropping. So, well, if you guys have any questions, drop me a line. We're going to cast up a bunch of these. So you got cold, she didn't want to come out. We're going to start casting up a bunch of these. Next couple videos we'll show you how to load them. Some suggested loads, and we're going to go out in the field, and of course we got to test them out. That's all the fun of casting. Until next time.